Gatsby here in the new year, and with a new year comes a new ban list. But with the January 1st list, it included someone that some were glad to see.
Mathmech Circular. Oh my god, Joshua Schmidt is going to have a field day with that one.
What, did Josh get one wish as the result of winning the YCS?
Oh my god, I didn't realize Josh had a fucking, mole in Konami's headquarters. They banned Mathmech Circular. Holy crap, that's insane.
Released on the 5th of August in Power of the Elements, Mathmech Circular was retro support that would make Mathmech a household name for about 2 months. And if you're not familiar with the good word, allow me to elucidate. Circular special summons itself by sending a soft garnet from the deck to the grave for cost, and for the remainder of the turn, places a battle step restriction that doesn't matter if you're going first, and if you're going second, it still doesn't matter. While on board, if you special summon another Mathmech card, Circular will add a Mathmech spell or trap, usually Equation or Superfactorial. From here, the card that was sent from the deck will bring itself back for an Exceed summon of another Searcher that will fetch your normal summon diameter. After you're done playing Solitaire, your searched copy of Superfactorial can be used to Exceed summon your ace monster Laplacian, who if made with diameter provides an Omni Negate, and on summon, can send a card from the hand and one monster on field and one spell trap on field to the grave. But of course, you all knew that, so why am I talking about Josh Schmidt's favorite card? Well, someone on Twitter made a post about why Circular deserved to be banned, but they weren't satisfied with it, so MBT made a video about a post, but he didn't actually talk about Circular, so I wanted to make a video about a post. Look, as someone who enjoyed playing Circular, I just wanted to be the one to provide an autopsy report on the banning of Mathmech Circular. Let's go back to August 2022. The meta-defining set Power of the Elements was released with 2 powerhouse decks entering the building. Sprite hit the ground running immediately with the expected momentum taken from the OCG trends. And at the time, Tearlament was kind of shelved because it didn't seem reliable enough to consistently hit the mills. Circular at the time was strong enough to pop up here and there while picking up a couple of wins as a solid tier 2 deck that— and just kidding, Tearlament's strongest. Yeah, it turns out Americans weren't interested in waiting and instead went straight to the Danger archetype to help consistency hits. Given the undeniable power of the deck, in October 2022, Darkwing Blast provided access to the Bestials, a powerful dragon archetype that banishes lights and darks from either player's graves to special summon themselves, backed each with solid effects. Surely this wouldn't negatively impact the already rogue strategy of Mathmech, putting them further into the ground due to having multiple light targets that they would prefer remain in the grave. Needless to say, the Bestials made a great addition to the long list of cards that were already in use to combat tier 1 decks. But for the set of hand traps made to combat the problem, they ended up widening the gap by becoming an exceptional tool for any deck given the space. And 2 weeks later, the Tier 0 format had finally arrived with Mama and the Ishizu cards. Widening the power gap into a power canyon, Tier Shizu provided access to millers and shufflers that would invalidate any reason to play a deck not named Tearlament. And the previously feared Superfactorial was at this point basically welcomed in the event that it would help resolve Tearlament cards by sending them from the hand or field to the graveyard. So what if I told you after 4 months of any strategy not being named Tier being unplayable, that it somehow got worse? Because in February 2023, Photon Hypernova hit the scene with a second wave of Kashtira support. We also got a ban list shortly after, banning Sprite Elf, Kit Kalos, Scythe, and one of the Barrier statues, alongside the limiting of each of the Ishizu shufflers. Mathmech would almost be playable if not for the arrival of Kashtira Arise-Heart. Konami heard our grievances about the Tearlament menace and said no more graveyards, introducing a walking macrocosmos that could suck up banished cards and quick effect banish other cards on the field. Paired with his partner in crime, Diablosis the Mind Hacker, this would force players to play multiple copies of extra deck staples otherwise. So if you're still trying to play Mathmech, I hope you pack to spare in your already tight extra deck. Thankfully, this was done on the main stage at a Konami-sponsored event. So Diablosis was banned in June 2023 alongside an Arise-Heart limit, so maybe— but why though? This already rogue strategy that couldn't hold a candle to the meta, this was the last thing that needed to be addressed. Well, it wasn't the worst thing to happen, as Photon Hypernova also introduced Firewall Defensor, a normal summon that could be used to search Circular via Alimbertion. But now a new problem. This required a normal summon and telegraphed your entire line that could easily be crippled with a well-placed point of interaction. And to be completely honest, it is a fair trade-off, since now you actually have to commit something to the board, instead of getting free value from opening up one of 12 Konami-patented 1-card starters. But with Arise-Heart looming and Bestials banishing, and only having one copy of of Circular, is it even worth considering this strat anymore? Well, in August of 2023, Konami released Soul Burning Volcano alongside a totally not emergency ban list to unlimit the gazelle they forgot on the previous list, and finally pulled the trigger on the format warping mega threat that they should have addressed on the previous list. So with the departure of Arise-Heart and the arrival of some new Cyberse monsters in Soul Burning Volcano, maybe there's a new home for
Mathmech Circular. Bro, Mathmech Circular is the funniest banlist change that they have ever done in the history of banlists. It's so fucking funny. I'm gonna be honest with you, they didn't need to do that, man. They didn't need to do it. And I'm pretty sure they knew, man. They knew. It was just like, hey, you know, Josh just won a YCS. Let's do him a favor. Let's give him a little Christmas gift. You know, we'll ban Circular. Who cares anyways, dude? No one plays Mathmech anyways. No one cares about Mathmech. Let's just ban it for the memes. And they did, and it's hilarious, man. That was not necessary, but I still appreciate that, you know? I appreciate it. This is the change that I saw, and I was like, there's no way that's real. There's no way that's real.
So let's do a quick recap. A rogue strategy that saw fringe play for combo chimps was immediately eclipsed by two juggernauts that within 2 months influenced the hand trap meta to guarantee cards like Super Factorial will never resolve, straight into a tier 0 format, whose end was only marked by Konami printing a ban list that was favorable to one of the most powerful boss monsters ever introduced to the game, ending with banning the most powerful one card starter that never was on January 1st, 2024. Cyberse is undeniably one of the most polarizing monster types in the history of the game. Similar to the pendulum strategy, the average Cyberse deck attempts to pile in as much gas as possible to end on some number of extra deck monsters or die. And Circular was arguably the best Cyberse ever printed, so much so that an entire meme format was shaped around creating custom Circular type monsters for other archetypes. But I think that's what Konami realized, that in a world where Circular is allowed to exist, most Cyberse lists should either heavily consider crutching on Circular, or frustrate a format of rotating variety. And with the Soul Burner side set being released, we're able to see what a Cyberse strategy that didn't entirely rely on Circular looked like. Which is also to say that having a card that can summon itself, and summon another monster, and grab an in-archetype spell trap without a normal summon might be a bit much. And I say all of this to say that the real reason Circular is banned is because Joshua Smith won World.